It's safe to assume that whatever disease she was suffering from was in an advanced state. The massive bloodstains on her clothes came from her vomiting blood. There aren't many conditions that cause that much hemorrhaging. From these 2 points alone, I conclude that she was already in terminal condition. Even if she hadn't been killed, she was already on the brink of death.
I see. I feel sorry for her. But if that's the case, then why?
Why was she kidnapped? I still have my doubts about that, actually. Did the murderer kidnap her? Or did that even happen?
What do you mean?
Whatever the case, she was definitely taken from her home before she died. The question now is what happened between the time she was taken until the car accident.
Right, I follow you.
Once we know that, we should finally be able to see the real truth behind this case. Little guy, I'm going to check the victim's room one more time.
I thought you might want to, so I have a new tool ready for you.
Someone's prepared. And what kind of present do you have for me?
It's not the most appropriate gift for a lady, but it's aluminum powder for finding fingerprints. There are some useful additions to the mixture.
Ah, great. I'm impressed.
I'm glad you like it. Spread the powder anywhere that looks suspicious and shine your investigation light on it.
And that'll make any fingerprints stand out? All right, I'll give it a try.
Good luck. Well then.
So many. These are all the same fingerprints. It's likely they belong to the victim. Now, why would she leave so many fingerprints on the floor? Yes, she was probably crawling on the floor to move around. The prints indicate she was heading towards... The prints on the floor lead to the room's entrance. They're even under the mat. What's underneath the mat? Nothing. What could this mean? Just as I thought. These are bloodstains. They must be Veronica's. Considering the facts so far, these bloodstains must have been caused by... Yes, Veronica's clothing was covered in blood that she had vomited. The amount of blood here is more than would be a fatal loss in most people. But there's something odd about these bloodstains. Blood is a liquid. It should be evenly spread across the floor. If there was one reason for the bloodstains to be shaped like this, it would have to be... I can't mess around anymore. It's time to get serious. Yes. This door was closed when Veronica was vomiting blood. That's why the blood spread unevenly. This door had been closed when Veronica was vomiting blood. Thus, the room is now in the same condition as it was when that happened. The lower part of the door has numerous scratches on it. What could these scratches be? The lower part. Bloodstains? Inside the scratch marks? From looking at the shape and location of these scratches, they are... I can't make any more rash decisions. I need to think cautiously. Yes, these are traces that someone had clawed at the door. On top of that, it was done with such desperation that their own nails cracked and bled. These bloodstains are at the entrance to the room. The door was closed when Veronica vomited blood. That, along with the scratches on the inside of the door, there's just one sad conclusion we can reach from all this. I can't make any more rash decisions. I need to think cautiously. Yes, Veronica was prevented from leaving here. Writhing in pain and unable to open the door, she lost a lethal amount of blood and died right here. She wasn't kidnapped and killed. We can deduce the victim's condition within this room by putting these facts together. Veronica was crawling on the floor. It's likely that this is because of the mysterious disease she was suffering from. It sapped her strength to the point that she was unable to even stand. She had an attack of her disease inside this room. The dead shall speak. Let's put together the truth of what happened here. A woman's skeleton was found 50 kilometers downriver of the city. The victim's name is Veronica Cage. She was 23 years old. She was suffering from some sort of illness. It caused her severe pain along with mental instability. When she couldn't go on, she snapped and turned violent. This card shows the truth of that emotional state. The patient had frequently physically assaulted her parents. This same disease finally caused her own death as well. This card shows evidence of that final attack. Yes, There were traces of blood at her room's entrance. During the attack, she writhed in agony about the room. The shattered mirror is evidence of that violent behavior. Eventually, her strength gave out and she collapsed. She used the last of her strength to try to leave the room. However, her one final wish was left unanswered. This card speaks to that sad truth. In her fading consciousness, she tore at the door. But she died there, and the culprits carried her body out. The proof of this is on this card. Exactly. The earring caught on something while she was being carried. She was already dead when the earring was torn from her ear. Most likely, her death surprised the ones responsible. They then cleaned the room to hide any signs she was there. But whoever cleaned the room had poor eyesight, and thus did not see the earring among the mirror shards. The body had to be hidden as well. Their plan was to throw the body off a bridge 8 kilometers away. But they were scared off by a pair of oncoming headlights. This culprit, with a bad back, gave up and fled the scene. Those headlights belonged to the blue truck. The driver could not avoid the body and ran over her. The driver believed he had killed her and dumped the body. Ironically, what he did only completed the culprit's plan. This card has proof that she was already dead when run over. Hiding a corpse is a crime, but the driver wasn't the murderer. The ones responsible are those who locked her away to die. She sought help, not knowing that none would ever come. Her last words are the proof of that desperation. This is the whole truth in how her life was cut short. I don't know what the dead want, but the truth must come out. I'm going to see the ones who cut your life's thread short.
The medical examiner. What brings you here?
Your daughter died in suffering. She struggled, she shouted, and she clawed at her door. She tried to escape so terribly that her own nails tore off. Why didn't you open the door?
There was no choice. We wanted her to be happy. We wanted her to be normal. We never thought this would...
Her death may have been inescapable. But you defiled her death in order to protect yourselves. That can never be forgiven.